The Seattle Police Department announced it's joined a nationwide initiative called 30 by 30 that aims to increase staffing levels. 30 by 30's goal is to have women make up 30% of police departments by the year 2030. Hannah Knowles joins us live tonight. There are extremely critical aspects and accusations in this report about SPD, Hannah.
Mary, well, as part of that initiative, the 30 by 30, to get 30% of the women workforce up to 30% by the year 2030, the Seattle Police Department had a report done and asked women in the department and who had worked for the department previously about what their opinions were when it came to workforce and workplace environment within the police department. And I want to bring up some of the common themes that I saw when reading through that nearly 20-page report. Some of the findings, I would say, were shocking to read, and those common themes were masculine culture, expectations for women's and double standards, as well as generational distinction. Pregnancy and childcare was a major one that a lot of women talked on. Promotion and leadership was another. Just a couple examples to give you when reading through this. They were quoting women that they had interviewed about it. One woman said that she had a sergeant say that she looked, quote, yummy in front of a bunch of officers. Another woman said that she was riding in the car with someone who continued to ask her why she was single and sort of pestering her about her dating life, why she wasn't dating. So just a lot of red flags kind of raised. And I did talk to the doctor who actually conducted this report tonight and asked her about it and kind of asked what she thinks about some of the findings that they found in this report. And she did say, you know, it's hard to read some of these things and to hear what these women had to go through and kind of just the unfairness. Some even say it was harassment. But she said this is a step in the right direction. It's a good thing that the Seattle Police Department is aware of the things that have happened and how women feel. And if they do want to get more women in the workforce with the Seattle Police Department, well, the first thing that has to happen is to kind of correct these problems and move forward. And that next step is identifying what's happened and moving forward.
Hannah, really quick, the report is extremely candid, and you talked to the researcher who did the whole thing. There are dozens and dozens of departments all across the country participating in this initiative. Did she say whether or not all of the departments had this similar response, this trend of what people, especially women in these departments, were saying?
Yeah, well, the researcher did say, unfortunately, you know, she's not surprised that this is something that's happening when it comes to a police department. But she did say, on the other hand, you know, it's unfortunate that this has happened, but it is a good thing that the Seattle Police Department is recognizing what's happened in the past and is trying to move forward and really step up to that initiative of 30 by 30.
All right, Hannah, thank you very much. You just heard from Hannah, who described some of the stories from women in the focus group in that report. And tonight we want to welcome in Seattle Police Chief Adrian Diaz to ARC Seattle, joining us late this evening. Thanks so much for being here, Chief Diaz.
Thank you for having me.
Right off the bat, Chief, what was your reaction to the report and these stories of bias and double standards within the department culture?
I think there's an idea that whether we were shocked about what we heard in the report, but I wasn't. And a part of that is as growing up in this department, I know that at times people have done stuff or experienced stuff and they haven't reported it. And really was important to me was to order this type of focus groups to happen and occur to make sure that we understood the magnitude of how our female officers experience the police department and how do we make this better.
Chief Diaz, how do you plan on reaching that goal of 30 by 30 and maintain that retention rate? And the initiative is interesting because it highlights a lot of the challenges in the culture right now. Do you think the report also makes it harder to hire more women?
Well, it's been hard to hire anybody over the last couple of years. And really what this report to me highlights is that we're willing as a police department to take major steps in making sure that we make this the viable place for people to want to come and work here, and that for women to want to feel appreciated when they are here. And so really this is, I think, a testament to the way the department is really focused on continuous innovation and learning and understanding. And I think that we have to do this for all of our people to make sure that they feel part of this community.
Policing is simply a male-dominated business, Chief. A couple of words that we heard in that report over and over again were awareness and also culture. So as Chief, how do you begin to change a culture within an entire police department?
Yeah, well, I'm already making a lot of changes. I've already instituted a diversity, equity, and inclusion person. We're already working through several race and social justice work plan for 2024. we're already, implementing many different steps of what this has highlighted. We've looked at policies and practices of it. We actually have a women's work group that is moving forward. We are looking at mentorship as part of this connection for women. And we're also figuring out ways that we talk about promotion and elevation in the department. And we're already, implementing many of the things that we've done. In fact, over 50% of our female commanders and people of color that have actually had leadership opportunities or leadership conferences where they go to help elevate their opportunity and experiences so that way they become better candidates for higher positions.
I see. Former Assistant Chief Deanna Nolet filed a lawsuit against you last month accusing you of sexism and, quote, history of misogyny. What is your response, Chief?
These are 100% false, and it's sad that they would end up coming out with something like a history of misogyny. And really, my focus is making sure that I run this department, that I lead this department. I'm trying to create a huge level of culture change, and some people have not supported that level of culture change. And right now, I'm committed to making sure that we make this a viable place for all of those that work and also who we respond to in the community.
Chief, before I let you go, I'd like to ask you about this new gunshot detection technology that will soon be implemented. We do know that this is a pilot program. Can you tell us more about how this system works for people who are not familiar with it? How efficient, how effective is something like this to policing?
Well, really it allows us, to get to sometimes locations in a quicker manner. So it doesn't hear voices, it really focuses on gunshots. And as the gunshot comes off, it goes to the 911 center. The dispatchers are allowed to dispatch us quicker in a more efficient manner. Because what we also found is that sometimes shootings go unreported until we actually find a victim. And so this actually allows us to get to an area quickly and responsive, but also allows us to care for people that have been shot and being able to treat those injuries before maybe a 911 call response was actually relayed to 911. And so this is only a pilot. We're really focused on also working with community to make sure that we're not, having huge impacts in the community, that we're making sure that, the system that we do, this automatic gunshot locator, also works for the community, that they feel like they've been part of that process and heard. But it also allows us to really address some of the violent crime in some of these communities that they felt like haven't been addressed. Right now we have 40% of our shootings or shots fired that have occurred in the South Precinct. And we need to figure out ways that such as using technology to be able to address that.
Chief, we know that the city is going to fund this. That's already been approved. How soon do you think this will be implemented?
I think this will take some time. We also want to make sure that we hear from community in gathering feedback before we implement that. We will do what they call a surveillance impact report. So we're working closely with the mayor's office and community to make sure that all those things are done.
All right, Chief Adrian Diaz, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.